Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in the buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmonk to your website in seconds, letting the artificial intelligence do all the work, and increase conversions by 50% while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmonk.com. All right, everyone, welcome to today's episode of Pathmonk Presents. Today we are joined by Brett Carnali. He's the VP of Sales at Stone Door Group. Brett, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Rick. It's a real pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So, Brett, if you could just dive right in, I want to talk about Stone Door Group for a second. If you can tell us a little bit about, what's the heart of what your company does and what does it mean to unlock your digital potential?
Ooh, great. Yeah, thank you for that opportunity. Of course, everyone loves to introduce their company, and I will do so the best ability that I can. Stone Door Group, at the heart, we're really integrators, and the place where we like to integrate is in the DevOps shop, And so historically, we've been around for 17, some might say 20 years. It's
Mhm.
officially 17 years. And we've just been integrating with IBM solutions, Red Hat solutions, really helping bridge the gap between the developers and those who are really doing the day-to-day operations. And so our heart is to be that solution bringer, that can really help an enterprise go to the next level.
Got it. Okay. And I was looking, so I was doing a little bit of stalking earlier. I was looking, you guys have a partnership with Red Hat, right? Is that a recent thing or?
We've been with Red Hat really. We've grown up with Red Hat. So before Red Hat had their professional services, Stone Door Group was that like integration arm of Red Hat. So we were solutioning for them really in the beginning, especially going back to the origins of OpenShift and containers and some of the emerging tech and some of the more fun stuff. We're
Yeah.
all Linux guys at heart. We love getting down with at the operating system and on the platform level, but like some of the modernization stuff, that's where it gets really fun.
Okay. So, because I'm curious, is there any, let's say, vertical or any type of business or industry you feel you're able to serve best at the moment, or maybe you have a solution that you feel like it's pretty overarching, across different industries and whatnot. Because I want to know more about the core problems that you solve for them, and I'm sure our audience is curious too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, automation's kind of been around for a while now, and it's the buzz around it has worn off, but yet the benefits are still very relevant, right? And so day in and day out, we are very much involved with helping companies to automate repetitive tasks. So that's a big part of what we do, and we do that in every possible vertical that has IT. So all of them, right? And so that's a big thing. I think the most relevant new thing that just we keep on getting calls for and referrals is this kind of what do we do about virtualization? Broadcom acquires VMware, and now like everyone's seeing these huge price hikes, and there's a lot of questions like, is there another
Mhm.
solution? Is there another way? VMs have been such an integral part of everyone's infrastructure for so long. And so I think that's where we've been able to kind of come to the conversation agnostically and really just help our customers and partners really to evaluate what the options are depending on where they want to go. and I think that's a big part. So virtualization is very hot right now, and that is kind of there's certain verticals for sure that are on the forefront of that. Finance, anything in the financial industry, they really want to kind of solve that problem. And then the other one that I would say is probably healthcare, although they're a little slower to adapt,
Hmm.
but we're talking to a lot of hospitals and medical groups right now. And both of those are highly regulated industries, right? So they're very much concerned about what the regulations say and like how does this affect security and all those questions and what's coming down the pipe. So it doesn't mean that we shy away from manufacturing or retail or any of those. We're very involved in those verticals as well.
Right. And I'm sure there's a component of, being able to help them um, stay up to date with these systems and while stay compliant, which is maybe a bit of a,
And that's where like AI has gotten to be this really I think it's really exciting because we have the capacity to take a lot of the data that has been, kind of stale and stagnant because of fear of regulations and security, and basically consume it,
Mhm.
using a secure AI platform, or using proper governance, like what IBM has kind of like put forth with their Watson X, .gov products. Like some of those tools have become super useful in these highly regulated areas, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, for me, I like helping customers solve hard problems. So my favorite thing ever is when it's like the customer comes to you and they're like, we're screwed, we don't know what to do about this, like help us, you know what I mean? Like that's when it's like, oh, this is going to be fun. Let me get the smartest guys that I can, bring them to the table and solve hard problems, and then we can all rejoice when it produces money, like when we make money from it. So that's when it gets really exciting. It's like, hey, we solved this, we did it at a reasonable cost, and now we're seeing the return on the investment. Like, hello, there it is.
Spoken like a true VP of sales, Brett. That's
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
thanks, Randy.
Of course. So you mentioned something just at the beginning about getting phone calls and referrals, right? And so I'm curious, where does your website sit in your acquisition channels? I guess, what's the role of your website when it comes to getting more of those clients and being able to reach more of those clients and help them improve their bottom line at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's so this is the part where I put my eyes down, right, and speak shamefully because it does not have a central position at all. In fact, here we are, as IT, modernization company, like we help companies to modernize, and yet our personal website is dated, so like, just full confession and, just being real, like it ends up it's one of those old stories like the cobbler's kids, need new shoes. And that's the case, is that like we really don't emphasize it nearly enough, and so what happens is we end up putting the majority of our investment in terms of market development and business development on, third-party systems, other groups, referral networks, all that kind of stuff. And it's costly, it really costs
Mhm.
us, where if we could get some organic traffic, then gosh, that's a dream come true for a VP of sales guy. You know what I mean? Like that's customer
Yeah.
acquisition cost is definitely something that I consider all the time. So
Right, right. Okay. Well, I don't think there's any shame if you're able to stay in business and do well. It only means there's the door for an opportunity there, and
that's
it's
right.
that's wide open, right? And so when you guys do have a look at the website, I'm sure things will get even smoother, and your customer acquisition costs will go down as a result. So it's great. I'm sure you'll get DMs and okay, people contacting you. Oh, we can redo your website. Don't worry about
I
it because
know. Thanks, Rick. Yeah,
well, maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the
yeah,
best.
maybe it's for the best.
All right.
That's right.
Just want to switch gears a little bit, Brett, and just want to talk about you as a leader, right? So, on a typical day, what are the main things you focus on? I guess, what does a day in your role look like?
Yeah, so on a typical day, so I mean, all my days start with personal development, right? And so for me, that means quiet time, it means meditation, and I get out. I'm very fortunate that I live in a climate where I can get outside and put my feet in the dirt and kind of let the sun shine on me, hopefully, most days, and just that's really a valuable time for me. It definitely sets the pace and the tone for the day. And then once my day starts professionally, it always starts with reviewing the pipeline, like taking a look
Mm,
at what we have coming up and what we're working on currently and what we're about to close, what we're finishing, the projects that we're finishing. So that gives me the opportunity to kind of get the overall picture of the business, right? So what's coming in and what's going out, and then I meet with my sales team, and what we do is we kind of like just set the pace of the day. And who are you going to call? Who are you talking to? What's coming up? Like, what are you excited about? A lot of those kinds of behaviors are what set the tone, and then you start meeting with customers and solving hard problems, right? And so the day always closes inevitably when I should be down at the dinner table with my family. Instead, I'm still in my office, finishing
mm.
up that extra proposal, getting a report ready for a partner, doing all those hard things. But it's when you love it and when you're passionate about it, it's not really work at all. It just becomes part of the greater vision, and that's where I'm at. So I'm very fortunate in that way.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And to your point, I think when you love it, it's just another challenge, right? Whenever problems come in, whenever that last minute proposal needs to be sent out, it's, the parts of you that obviously are maybe a little bit annoyed. I don't know how to describe it
Yeah.
exactly, but at the same time, it's like, okay, new business potentially. So it's always moving. It's always exciting, right? So when you like it, when you don't, it's a different story. But sounds like you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, I very much am. I mean, I've lived with the number over my head for a while, and so when you live like that, it's you kind of it's a different. It takes a certain kind of person to basically be able to handle the pressure and also be motivated into it, And I'm a hunter, so I like to go out and hunt, and I can't help myself.
Again, spoken like a true VP of sales. So, Brett, we're coming towards the end of the interview, and what we usually do, we have a pretty fun segment that's our rapid fire questions.
Yeah,
So, the only unspoken rule that we have is that we only need short and crisp answers. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right, this one might be relevant because you told me about starting your day with self-development, right? So, what's the last book you read?
Oh my goodness. 1,000 Gifts by Anne, and I'll probably jack up her last name, but Voskamp, I think is how you say it. But
Okay.
it's a book about gratitude, and oof, it's a good one.
All right, sounds good. We'll put that in our reading list. It's it's a long one right now. Um,
I bet.
what's one single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
Virtualization. Yeah. We spend more time day in and day out helping customers with their virtualization questions and needs and concerns. That's our focus.
Gotcha. So, if there were no boundary in technology, right? What's one thing that you want to have fixed for your role as a VP of sales today?
No boundary in technology. One thing that I would,
None whatsoever.
yeah, I would say one thing that I would fix today would definitely be just more leads. I mean, I think that's what I have to say. I mean, that's my number one priority and thing that I want. We have a great success rate at closing, and we just need more opportunities to do so. So
Okay. That's a good one. I mean, who doesn't, right?
yeah, right.
Um, so if there's one, so you mentioned this earlier, right? Helping your customers with automation. So if there was one repetitive task that you do on a daily basis that you could automate, what would that be?
Oh gosh, this is where I'm so excited about AI agents is because the repetitive tasks that I do, they're very human in nature, right? So it's like appointment setting and calendar maintenance and juggling things, stuff like that. So it's like so it would be something along those lines. It would be like, can you help me with my calendar? Like that's, and I know there's a lot of, please don't spam me with all your solutions for that, because I do know that there's a ton of solutions out there for that. And I am looking at some. Maybe I shouldn't go ahead, send them away, right? And so because that's like it, calendar maintenance is one of the biggest challenges that I have. Yeah, I don't think I do a lot of redundant, repetitive stuff, but calendar maintenance would be it.
Okay, got it. Um, I might have a solution for that. Well, we'll talk about it offline,
Yeah,
but I
nice.
now off the top, I can't remember the name exactly, so I'm sure it'll come to me, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
Okay, so what's one piece of advice that you would give yourself if you could restart your journey as a salesman today?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question, Rick. That's not a quick one. One piece of advice that I would give myself is time management. Hey, Brett, do the hard things while you're young because it is so easy to develop bad habits. And once a bad habit is established, it's very difficult to change it, and to fix it. And so I really wish I could go back and tell my younger self, like, do the hard things now, establish good habits and good behaviors because it it'll help you in the end, you know.
That's beautiful. One thing that personally I like to add to that I learned over time is that is time management is essential. It's really crucial. If you can also add energy management to it, if you can manage your energy, when the peaks and valleys are. For
Yes.
me personally, when I started doing that, that was a game changer.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's really good.
Yeah. All right, Brett. Love this conversation, and I want to thank you for being on the show with us today. I want to give you the last word. So, if someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is one thing that they should remember about Stone Door Group and the work you guys are doing?
Oh man, I would say customer first. Yeah, the Stone Door Group we obsess about our customers' success. And so as consultants, it's always a challenge to overcome that kind of predisposed expectation that a customer has that like you're just in it to get paid and get out. And that is not Stone Door Group at all. And so we really desire to see our customers succeed and have long-term relationships, regardless of whether or not there's money in transacting, that we really care about that. And I want people to know that.
Amazing. I love that. And if anyone wants to check you guys out, where should they go? How can they get in touch?
Stonedoorgroup.com. You can definitely find our contact info there and a little bit of good history of where we've been. And so I would send people there. On LinkedIn, I'm Brett Carnali, and I'm pretty sure I'm the only one, and so I'm one of the easier ones to find. And so by all means, I'd love to connect and sync up. I appreciate it.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, Brett. Thanks again. I hope to see you again on the show, and you have a wonderful day.
Thanks, Rick. Thank you very much for having me.
Of course. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.